Hey guys, welcome to Brazillian United. Welcome to another video, and it is time to talk about Felipe Coutinho and how to get back the best Coutinho, how to be able to get the best out of Felipe Coutinho. And this is due to the cause that the Premier League transfer window is closed. We're not able to offload into the Premier League, and with the Premier League closed, I heavily doubt that PSG, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Napoli are gonna be able to get Coutinho off Barcelona. So I'm doing this video in mind with the fact that Coutinho will be staying at Barcelona for the remainder of the season. And with this said, I think it's really important that we sort some things out, that we are able to get the best out of Felipe Coutinho for the season. One, because if we don't, that means that the player is he's losing his value even more, and that we're wasting a potential player that he is talented, that it's gonna require a lot of work and a lot of process to get the best out of him, but it is possible. And for me, here are the ways that Barcelona needs to do things in order to get the best Felipe Coutinho. At first, we have to reduce the amount of centre midfielders. We have far too many. It is way too many centre midfielders, and with that, Coutinho is the only position where I can see him stay in the team, because even if we don't bring Neymar, which I think we're at this point, I'm very dodgy if we're gonna bring Neymar, because to bring in Neymar, that would mean that Coutinho would have to be part of that PSG deal, and apparently PSG don't want Coutinho as part of the deal in any situation. So that is tough for concern. And now with Dembele, Griezmann, Suarez and Messi, Coutinho playing in the forward line will not succeed, because one, it's not his position, and second, he has far too much competition that he's either gonna ruin himself and Dembele's career, or he's gonna ruin his career at all. So we need to put him in midfield, understand that he's a player that is a number 10, so the player that links the midfield to the attack, and he's not one thing or the other. He's not a forward, and he's not properly a creative organizational distribution midfielder. He's more of a number 10, a player that acts in the final third, and he can perfectly do it in our midfield three. I just think that he has to evolve defensively. He has to contribute a lot more. He has to be a lot more like alive in the game. You see Coutinho sometimes being very passive, and that is fine when you're Lionel Messi, but when you're not Lionel Messi, and we know that Messi cannot press because we're just not going to ask that of him, we need other players around him to be able to give a maximum level of intensity, so they're able to cover for him not pressing, and because that's what Barcelona need in order to play at their best level. Coutinho is going to need a lot of space in that midfield, so that means Ivan Rakitic, Rafinha and Arturo Vidal have to leave Barcelona. This is all the things that I think are realistic, that could happen, that there's a possibility of happening. This needs to happen. We need to offload them three, and then we're gonna give Coutinho from the start position with the likes of Frankie de Jong at the pivot position, the likes of Arthur, and the likes of Felipe Coutinho. Why am I saying this? You need to give him minutes, because Guardiola gave Iniesta 6 months to adapt to the side, to be able to adapt to the position that he played in. And previously, Iniesta for over 5 seasons wasn't succeeding in his position. He was between playing in the forward line like Coutinho and playing in midfield some of the time, but he could not play with Xavi. So at the same time, Coutinho has to learn how to distribute the play, how to not always go forward, not always try to do your own thing. Pass it back, distribute the play, organize everything. Make sure that you're constantly moving. You're passing really quick, pass and move, pass and move. Make everything so quick. You need to be very dynamic. Basically, look at yourself in the mirror of David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva. That is the mirror that Felipe Coutinho needs to follow to evolve into a centre midfielder for Barcelona. he's gonna be playing next to De Jong, next to Arthur, who are gonna be able to, like show him how it's done, show him what he needs to do. Not lose the ball, try to always shield the ball with your body, like distribute it properly to positions where there's not that much danger. Be able to, in between lines, just make a pass that's gonna be always the right one. And that is something that he has to learn. That's something that's it's a learning process, and it's gonna take time. Therefore, we need to give him time. And with that much competition offered of him, by relieving three spaces in the midfield, you're giving him a lot more opportunities to play. Then you would have Sergio Roberto, Aleñá as the backups, which are important backups. Ricky Puig, I'm not too sure if he's gonna play for Barcelona. I really heavily doubt it. And I'm benching Sergio Busquets because Sergio Busquets, for what I've seen on the start of the season, he just looks really tired, at least mentally. He doesn't look mentally fit to start a season. And I think that this is the perfect timing to do this. Try Coutinho in midfield, have Busquets rest a bit, and at the end of the season we'll have Aleñá, Coutinho, Frenkie de Jong, and Arthur playing in midfield, while Sergio Roberto and Busquets are going to be rotating that pivot position a lot more. And I think that is going to benefit us for the time being. But for the time being, Frenkie de Jong, Arthur, and Philippe Coutinho need to start in our midfield. And this is where the other point comes to. Frenkie de Jong really has to evolve as a player, because if he's going to play in our pivot position, he has to become a lot better defensively. Defensively, he doesn't put the work that he needs to, and it's not attacking Frenkie de Jong. It's just not his thing. He will be a lot better for our interior position, but because we're giving Arthur and Philippe Coutinho those roles, then De Jong has to evolve more as a defensive midfielder. He has to be able to read the danger before it comes, like 2 or 3 passes before they come. You need to be able to read the danger, read the dangerous areas, and be more than a good tackler. You have to have a fast mind to be able to read the danger, just like Sergio Busquets. It'll be very difficult because Busquets at his best level is the best defensive-minded midfielder of all time. But with work, I know that with work that I've been able to see him more, I'm sure that he will be able to give us that in the big games. And if we need like a true defensive minded powerhouse in like a big game that maybe Frenkie de Jong is not used to, you go ahead and drop Philippe Coutinho for that game, De Jong and Arthur in your interior positions, and then one of Sergio Roberto or Sergio Busquets in your pivot position, and that should be enough to get us through at least the first couple months of the season. And the last thing is the mentality. Valverde, whoever it is, Eric Vidal, whoever it is, I don't care who it is, as long as it's someone does this. Talk to Coutinho. Tell him that you need to give maximum intensity, that you need to just give your all at Barcelona at all times. Like we're giving you a chance, we're giving you a true chance to be the new Iniesta. But in order to be the new Iniesta, you need to give maximum effort, and you need to be the best. You need to just, it doesn't matter if you're not succeeding, just give maximum effort, because it will come. You will eventually get there. And the last thing will be that Antoine Griezmann, Ousmane Dembele, and Luis Suarez have to perform unbelievable amounts of high pressing, because for us to succeed, Philippe Coutinho and Messi are very, like I said, a very similar profile where they're very passive, and even if Coutinho is giving his maximum effort, we're gonna need our forwards to contribute in the high press in order for the team to work properly. If we're not able to do that, then Coutinho will be struggling. Will be struggling because he will probably get passed by the dribblers, because body wise he's not like a physical entity. He gets pushed off the ball very easily, and that could be a problem if we lose the ball trying to press. And that's pretty much it. Like, he's a quality player. He's one of the in his best form. He's probably one of the best players in the world. Right now he's not, and he needs to get back to that. If we are gonna trust in Coutinho, we better give him the conditions to succeed and be able to show the best version of himself. Felipe Coutinho is a player that I had very high hopes when we signed him, and I still do. I still think that if we're gonna keep him, we can get the best out of himself. It's not what I would have done. I think that you see all the work that involves getting the best out of him, while we could be doing some other things that are easier and are probably gonna be more effective in the future. But when trusting Coutinho, you have to give him the conditions to succeed. With all this said and done, let me know your opinions. What do you think about Coutinho? Do you think that he'll be succeeding at Barcelona next season? All your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, Blaugranas.